The story begins with a hitman preparing to kill his target using a sniper rifle larger than his body. His target is a retired agent from his own company, who is enjoying his pension with young women. Surprisingly, 5 people, including a woman who was intimate with the agent, were working together to kill the old man. The sniper missed his shot, only grazing the agent, after which the rest of the team broke into his mansion and riddled his chest with bullets. Once the job was done, their boss sent a helicopter to extract them. Next, we meet another agent, Duncan, who is days away from retirement. These agents are professional killers working for a contract killing company. Duncan is a seasoned killer, having committed so many murders in his 30-year career that even his colleagues suggest he take a break. He has no family or government records, an anonymous killer, which sets him apart from others in his profession. Duncan visits his accountant, who informs him he will receive $8 million upon retirement, or 64 million rupees, for 30 years of loyalty. As he always does, he donates $1 million of that money, though even his accountant doesn't know to whom or where. After this, we see Vivian, the company's manager, at the memorial service for her retired agent. Duncan is also present but remains unseen. He asks, who killed Michael? He had quit his job, and his record was clean. Vivian tells him it was the Russian Mafia, who have killed 4 of their retired or soon-to-be retired agents in the last month. She shows him a photo of their leader and says, this is the man. The boss wants to give you one last job. Kill him. This will be your last mission. Duncan replies, there are other agents in the company. Let them do this job. Why am I being given this mission? Vivian says, don't be childish. I know you're angry, but he wants you to do this job. In return, he'll give you good money. But Duncan wants to forget his past and start anew, so he declines the mission. Later, he goes to a store and buys a book and a film CD. He notices a girl selling an abandoned dog. To combat his loneliness, he buys the dog and takes it home. Duncan lives an underground life, erasing all traces of his presence wherever he goes. That night, he drinks heavily and falls asleep drunk. He's been so used to living alone for years that when his dog approaches his foot, he mistakes it for an enemy and shoots it. Duncan truly seems heartless. He adopted it in the morning and killed the poor creature by evening. He's sad, but it's done. He buries it and tries to live alone again. A girl lives in his neighborhood. Duncan sees her struggling to chop wood. The next day, Duncan goes to the market again, this time buying a fish tank, as raising dogs and cats isn't for him. When the girl returns home, she finds all her wood chopped. Duncan did it, but he doesn't tell her. Mind your own business is his motto. Meanwhile, Vivian repeatedly messages him, wanting him to accept the mission. Duncan continues to ignore her offer. Finally, Vivian promises him $2 million, after which Duncan starts taking her calls and says he will think about it. Vivian tells her boss, Blood, to forget him. He's very cunning. He won't fall into our trap so easily. But Blood asks, why do you get so nervous talking to him? He's just an ordinary agent. Give him as much money as he wants. Anyway, in the end he will come to us. After this, we see Blood in a high-profile meeting. The Chinese Mafia has come to discuss buying his company. They say, your company lost $29 million last year. Why would we buy a company already in debt? Blood replies, the company was in debt, but everything will be clear in the next few weeks. It turns out that when his great-grandfather started this company, he paid every agent for their loyalty upon retirement. But when Blood renegotiated the contract, he made changes so that if an agent died before retirement, all their money would go into the company's fund. All the agents who died before were because of him. He had usurped their money to pay off his debt. The buyers say, we need a guarantee that you will kill those agents and pay off all the debt. Only then will we buy this company. Meanwhile, Duncan goes to Russia for work. He has committed countless murders in his career with no regrets, but the memories of one mission haunt him like a terrible nightmare. In Russia, he meets a prostitute and spends the night with her. When they are intimate, her son enters the room. Duncan asks, don't you send him to school? The girl replies, you only come here sometimes in a year. I don't get enough money from this work now to get him admitted. He asks, how much do you charge for 2 nights? Come with me, I will give you good money. The woman agrees, and he takes both of them to a hotel. In the same hotel, a man is talking to Vivian. He says, where is your man? I have been waiting for him for a long time. But he doesn't know that Duncan is standing outside his room, making a lot of noise under the pretext of working. When the man comes out annoyed, Duncan nails his hands and feet, then kills everyone in his room. There, he notices a file with his photo and details. He realizes something is wrong. He asks, who paid you to kill me? When the man doesn't answer, Duncan shoots him. After this, he calls Vivian and says, "Okay, I will do your work." Vivian then transfers $1 million to his account, thinking her prey is caught. But Duncan is not foolish. Vivian has no idea that Duncan has already completed his work. As soon as the money arrives, Duncan sends a photo of the dead body and says, "Work is done." Vivian is shocked. All her plans are ruined, and $1 million is gone for no reason. Duncan says, the rest of the money should come in the next 24 hours. Otherwise, consider this deal over. He also warns that he was targeted for assassination, and if he finds out she was involved, the consequences will be severe. When the prostitute discovers Duncan used her and her son to enter the hotel, she slaps him hard and says, "You were putting my son's life in danger. Get out of here and never come to me again." Meanwhile, an enraged Vivian goes to Blood and asks, "Which samples did you send to kill him? Now if you want us to live peacefully, immediately pay Duncan for his work and forget him." But Blood refuses, instead sending his team to kill Duncan. His people first go to the accountant and ask, "Where is your client?" The poor man begs for his life, but they riddle him with bullets and take the files. After this, they go to Florida. When Cindy enters Duncan's flat, a man is already waiting for her. He mistakes Cindy for a prostitute and assaults and rapes her. But then the rest of the team arrives and kills him. Cindy, in anger, tears his corpse with a knife, furious that she was so easily beaten. After this, they go to New Jersey. Here too, tenants live. They ask, "Where is the owner of this house? To whom do you pay the rent?" When they don't answer, these people also kill them. They then go to Texas, Michigan, and countless other places, but only tenants live there. There is no trace of their owner, Duncan. Meanwhile, in Montana, Duncan is trying to live a normal life, unaware of the danger. One day, his neighbor, Cammy, and Duncan meet in a grocery store. Both are alone, so they quickly become friends. Cammy says, "It seems you also don't have a job. Maybe you don't have money, that's why you live here." But Duncan tells her he has retired and lies about his work. Cammy learns that Duncan can speak 8 languages and has traveled to more than 99 countries. She says, "Why don't you teach classes for the children here, just for one day? They will surely learn something from you." After this, Duncan goes with her to a primary school. There he realizes he knows nothing but killing. What would he tell the children? In the end, he teaches them how to use weapons and shows them what a dead person looks like. Whenever a child asks him about a country, he only remembers the people he killed in those countries. India, Brazil, England, Afghanistan. He has done missions everywhere. Duncan notices that Cammy is easily scared. One day, he comes to her and gives her a gun, saying that from now on she is not helpless. But Cammy says she doesn't know how to shoot. Duncan promises to teach her. He takes her to a deserted forest and says, "Aim at that." But as soon as Cammy holds the gun, her hands tremble. Duncan says, "It's okay, it's my fault. I shouldn't have given you the gun. I will return it tomorrow." He asks, "Why are you always so scared?" Cammy, crying, tells him that when she was little, she worked in a library. One day, the librarian came to her drunk and forced himself on her. Saying this, she cries loudly. Cammy says, "I want to find him, put a gun to his head and ask why he did this to me. I want to kill him so that his face disappears from my eyes forever." Hearing her words, Duncan doesn't express his feelings, but in his mind, he thinks that if he were there, he would kill him. Meanwhile, Blood's team finds a check with details of the bank where Duncan donates $1 million every year. Unfortunately, that bank is in the same place where Duncan is currently living. The next day, they all arrive in Montana and start monitoring outside the bank. Duncan, who has come to return the gun nearby, comes into their sight. When he is returning home, he sees a girl on the way whose car has broken down. It turns out this is Cindy, ready to trap him with her beauty. Duncan takes her home. Cindy pretends no one is coming to pick her up tonight and asks to stay there. Soon it is night. Cindy says, "I have never slept with an older man than myself." Duncan, a debaucher, immediately understands Cindy's hints, and after that, they pounce on each other. Cindy is wearing a wireless microphone around her neck. With its help, a sniper sitting far away aims at Duncan. As soon as he fires, Duncan immediately moves away, and the bullet hits Cindy directly in the shoulder. Cindy is telling him where he is, but Duncan kills her. When the rest of the people come into the room, they find that Duncan is not there. They start looking for him, but then the sniper hears a click. Duncan is standing behind him without clothes in the bone-chilling cold. He shoots him and starts hunting the rest one by one. She says, "I will find you and kill you." But Duncan turns on night vision and starts searching for her very carefully. From the steam formed by Hild's fast breaths, he figures out that she is hiding behind the fridge. After which Duncan fires and blows off her head. He finds an address in their pocket. When he reaches there, a girl is lying there after taking drugs. She accidentally tells about her plan B. She says, "Where is the girl to whom Duncan gives gifts?" Duncan understands who is being talked about here. He immediately comes to Cammie's house, but he finds out that she has been kidnapped by those people. Coming back, he sees that the girl has also disappeared. After this, he goes to Michigan to a friend. His retired friend is surprised to find him alive. He asks, "How many times did those people try to kill you?" Duncan says, "Twice, and now a girl is also in his custody." His friend tells him that useless blood must have kept her in his mansion. There he fulfills all his lust and dirty desires. Duncan is about to leave when his friend, under the pretext of shaking hands, puts a sedative on him, which makes Duncan unconscious. He has betrayed him. Meanwhile, we see Blood, furious with anger over the death of his girlfriend Hild. He says, "What you have done to me cannot be compensated by your death." Duncan still has 4 days left to retire, and Blood is going to torture him for the next 4 days. Duncan finds out that those people are giving Cammie drugs and slowly pushing her towards death. Blood says, "Just 4 more days, and after that, I will do everything with that girl in front of your eyes and then kill her in front of your eyes." After this, he picks up pliers and starts tearing his body like a vulture. Duncan screams in pain, but Blood doesn't stop. The next day, he takes out his set of knives and uses each knife on him one by one. Duncan's entire body is covered in blood, and the floor is red with every drop of his blood. On the 3rd day, this series of troubles continues. This time, when Blood hits his stomach with a blade, his blade breaks after hitting the metal plate in his bone. Blood says, "You broke my favorite blade," after which he, in anger, blinds his eye. Tomorrow is Duncan's last day, but he is only thinking about Cammie. Groaning in pain, he pulls out the piece of blade stuck in his stomach and unlocks his handcuffs. The next day, when the guards come to tie him, he attacks them. Whoever comes into that room is killed. When Blood hears the screams of the people, he runs back from the gate and tells his people to take care of him. Duncan kills everyone and tries to escape. In a narrow alley, he is attacked with deadly blows one after another from the front. He is also shot many times. But somehow, he is still standing. In the end, he kills everyone and comes to a friend, hiding his injuries. Duncan calls Vivian and says he wants to make a deal. He says, "In exchange for me, that girl," and hangs up. Fortunately, his new friend is not a betrayer. She treats him and takes care of him until Duncan recovers. Meanwhile, Blood does not want to leave that girl. Vivian says, "Then it's fine, the decision has been made. How many people do you have? I want everyone. I am going to kill him." After recovering, Duncan picks up a lot of guns and takes them to a ruined warehouse. On the way, he calls Vivian and tells her he will meet her at this location tomorrow. She should bring Cammie with her. But Vivian is tracing his call. With her people, she starts going to his live location. Duncan is also not less cunning. He has also made all the preparations for bad situations. A while later, Vivian reaches him. She says, "You have become so weak for a girl. I did not expect this from you." But Duncan wants to give them a chance to live. He says, "I just want that girl. As for the rest, take whatever you want." But considering him weak, Vivian tells her people to kill him. As soon as she turns to go back, Duncan suddenly pulls out a motion-controlled machine gun and riddles everyone with bullets. Vivian is also badly injured. She asks Duncan for help, but Duncan leaves her to die and walks away. Blood is watching all this on his monitor. He says, "Let him come, I will handle him." But when Duncan comes into his mansion, all his bodyguards run away after seeing him. When Duncan comes and stands in front of him, Blood picks up a sword to defend himself. But Duncan has brought an even bigger sword. He cuts off his head with one stroke and leaves. After this, he goes to Cammie. Her entire body is ruined by a drug overdose. She does not regain consciousness for many days and lies lifeless on the bed like a coma patient. One morning when Duncan opens his eyes, he sees that someone has kept a lot of newspaper cuttings and some pictures on his bed. The newspaper mentions the same incident that he often used to have nightmares about. Before he can understand anything, he sees Cammie standing ready to kill him with a gun pointed at his head. Cammie asks, "Why did you kill my family and why did you leave me alive that day?" It turns out that many years ago, on a mission, someone had deliberately given wrong information to Duncan, due to which he killed an innocent family, and that family was none other than Cammie's family. Duncan has to atone for his sins. That's why he has taken care of Cammie since childhood. He also gives Cammie 1.5 crore rupees every year. Duncan says, "Pull the trigger. Maybe there is no atonement for my sins." Cammie thinks a lot and pulls the trigger. But she does not kill Duncan. Duncan is not a bad man. If he were bad, he would never help her. The bad man was the one who got her family killed. Cammy asks, "Can we find him?" To which Duncan says, "Yes, I can find him." With this, the story ends here.